Welcome to my playroom. Again, today we're talking about ADHD, feeding kids with ADHD, but this information works for grown-ups too. Okay, so I was really fired up in this Instagram video and I thought it would be a good way to start off this video and get the conversation going.
Food does not cause ADHD. Food dyes do not cause ADHD. Food does not cure ADHD. ADHD is something you are born with, and food does not change that in any way.
Food doesn't cause ADHD. There's no food that you ever have or ever could feed your kids that would cause them to develop ADHD. And anytime you hear someone say that food does cause ADHD, it should be a major red flag. Unfollow. ADHD is a neurotype. It's heritable, meaning you can inherit it from your parents. So there are some epigenetic factors, which we'll talk about in a minute, but ADHD is the way that your brain or your kid's brain was made. It's the way their brain is when they're born. Hi, I'm Dr. Taylor, and I talk about healthy relationships with food for kids, and this video is a part of my course called Feeding Kids with ADHD. At least I think it's called that, unless I come up with a better name. That's what I've landed on. So if you want to learn more about feeding kids with ADHD, healthy relationship with food for kids, how to talk to your kids about food, make sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video so the algorithm brings you back here. Okay, now back to talking about food and ADHD. Now, do certain environmental factors such as the mom's diet during pregnancy affect risk for ADHD in the child? Yes, mostly via epigenetics, meaning there's still a genetic component to this risk. But there isn't one food or one type of food that explicitly causes ADHD. A lot of the research on maternal diet during pregnancy and ADHD risk in the offspring show that vitamin deficiencies or malnutrition or not getting adequate nutrition during pregnancy can affect the baby's risk of developing ADHD. But again, it's not causal. We're talking about associations here. So one thing happens, another thing is more likely to happen. And in the studies that look at ADHD risk in the offspring and mom's diet, there's also a lot of confounding variables that affect mom's diet and may affect the relationship between maternal diet and ADHD risk. So things like undiagnosed neurodivergence in the parents, sleep, stress, poverty, other things that can affect the way mom cares for herself during pregnancy, like prenatal care, mental health. There's a lot going on here. Some studies do control for these confounding variables and some don't. So we need to take all of this information with a grain of salt. When it comes to neurotype, ADHD, it's not as simple as A causes B. So we need to stop this shaming, blaming of parents because it doesn't do any good and it's wrong. So during pregnancy, a well-rounded diet, taking your prenatal vitamin, adequate fat and protein, and getting in those fruits and veggies as much as you can, eating enough to sustain your body and the fetus, that's what you need. There's no need to nitpick all of these individual ingredients and organic versus conventional and the labels of eating clean, dye-free, sugar-free, gluten-free. That's not necessary and it's not going to prevent something like ADHD. And not doing that is certainly not going to cause ADHD in the baby. Remember, you can eat perfectly during pregnancy and your kid can have ADHD. And you can eat a ton of candy and chips during pregnancy and your kid cannot have ADHD. Diet doesn't cause ADHD. Now, once the kid is born, can their diet cause ADHD? Can a kid's diet cause them to develop ADHD? No, absolutely not. 100% no. Now, food can affect symptoms and quality of life for kids with ADHD, and we're going to talk about that in later videos. We'll talk about how to navigate that and how to optimize nutrition for your kid with ADHD so they can feel their best. But food does not cause ADHD, and we need to start off this course with that piece of information. So in the upcoming videos in this course, Feeding Kids with ADHD, we're going to talk about why eating is sometimes really hard for kids with ADHD. We're going to talk about sensory needs and food with ADHD. We're going to talk about food dyes and sugar and supplements. So make sure you stick around. But that's the end of this video. So go have a snack or drink some water. I'll see you in the next video.